It is hard to say goodbye after several years donning the shirt of Chelsea, winning the Champions League as well as other trophy. Thiago Silva is set to say goodbye to the team that he has played with so much passion and love. Welcome to the last Monday in the month of April as at the show Spot Lounge. The last Monday on the show takes a center stage. This is the voice of Franklin Imona, the one you love to call Fine Boy, the sports chef, because I love to dish it to you hot and spicy, straight from the nation's capital and beyond. The time is 3 minutes gone past the hour of 4 p.m. on the 29th day in the month of April 2024. And today's show promises to be exciting as we've got stories from the Nigerian Nationwide League as well as the Nigerian Premier Football League. Actions from the National Assembly as the NFF have been called to come explain themselves and tell the National Assemblies why the team has not gotten a coach yet, as well as their plans going forward. We hear that Cote d'Ivoire have extended hands of a brotherhood to Tanzania as they get set to host the 2027 African Cup of Nations. Actions resumes in the camp of the the Golden Eaglet, as we hear that they put 7 goals past the team from Enugu, as well as Manchester United wobbling and fumbling. But the biggest news from Old Trafford as it that the entire team is up for sale. Arsenal escapes Tottenham onslaught as they won the North London derby over the weekend to keep hopes alive en route to winning the EPL. And it is game over in the French Ligue 1 as Kylian Mbappe's team lifts the French Ligue 1 title for the 10th time in 12 years. Bayern, never losing, extend their unbeaten run to 46 games in our competition as they came back from 2 goals down to play out a 2-all draw. Osime, Ademona Lukman, Siridensis, not forgetting Paul Onuatu, we are on target over the weekend. Action resume in the Nigerian, in the NBA, I beg your pardon, as well as hot, juicy tennis stories, Formula One, and so on, all on the show. You can see that the show is super bucked up. One man joins me on the show, ready to show his presentation prowess as well as his analysis top notch. And not forgetting Mr. Johnson, Michael G. You know him as Mr. J. Good to have you, Mr. J. Come talk sport.
Thank you very much, fine boy. I think it's a very good day to talk sport, considering what happened over the weekend, both local and internationally. Everything has been there's a lot of basketballs.
Absolutely.
In your words. And I promise it's going to be very interesting. Yeah.
All right, to leave your radio dial locked on to Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. And you know how we do it on the show Spot Lounge. We get to invite you where you connect with us through the studio line 070-0010-961-961. 070-0010-961-961. Just so you know, we are streaming live on our YouTube channel. Do well to join us via the YouTube page on VOP 96.1 Abuja. That is Voice of the People 96.1 Abuja. When you do well to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can join the Sporty family. In case you are out of Abuja, don't worry. Quickly go to your Google Play Store or your iOS app and look for Radio Garden. And when you find the app, download it and look specifically for VOP 96.1 FM. And when you do, you are just one click away to listening to us anywhere you are in the part of the world. Mr. J, let's go. Sport is a religion. Voice of the people, 96.1 FM is your worship center. And a fine boy, the sport priest is your sport priest. Come on, it is game on. And the game is officially on as we touch down at the National Assembly. As we hear that the leadership of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has appeared before the National Assembly earlier today. The invitation, according to the source, is among other reasons to make sure that the Super Eagles qualify for the African Cup of Nations as well as the FIFA World Cup in 2026. We also hear that the reason why the NFF were summoned is also to let the leadership of the National Assembly know what's going on with the Golden Eaglet as they are preparing for the Waffle Big competition as well as the Super Falcons preparations for the 2024 Olympics in France. Mr. J, obviously the National Assembly and the Nigerian Football Federation wants the best for Nigeria as well as a sport in general. We hear that they were summoned to come give the leadership of the National Assembly how they have gone so far and most importantly in search for a new coach.
Exactly. I think it sounds really, really nice to the ears and to the heart because you look at you are left, if you are given a job to do an opportunity to stay to share a bit to stay a particular ship to glory and without something like supervision or without supervision you may tend to do it anyhow. But the signal we are seeing from here is that we are all concerned. So the sports fans are all interested in the development of sports in our nation. Then the leadership at the National Assembly seems to be also more interested. What have you been doing? Come and tell us. What is your plan going forward? And if you even look at it, I think it has come to a time that we have to demand. We are talking from our own end, but then the authority, the National Assembly, also have to show that exactly. They have to wade in. Let them know that yes, they are under the watch.
Mr. J,
we want the best for them.
Mr. J, don't you think that the National Assembly summoning the NFF is putting undue pressure on the federation as well as interfering politically to the affairs?
No, for how long have we been clamoring for new coach? What is the status of the man that is at the helm now? He doesn't know if he is the one that will lead us to all the qualification.
True.
The World Cup or the Nations Cup, we want to bring our footballing card to the table. We want to be there. And for you to be there, you have to start from the basics, get the right coach for the Super Eagles. And up till now, we are still working on the interim. We've not had a substantial manager yet. You understand?
I do.
So it is the right time, and we've been expecting the NFF to give us a coach now. And if not the National Assembly, it's just a question. They are not. It's like a query. Query is not anything bad. Just tell us why this is like this. You understand? We shouldn't read it in bad light or look at it as if something that is bad. It's just a question. Come and tell us. What is your plan? How have you been doing with all that has been given to you?
Absolutely.
And then what's your plan going forward? It's up to NFF now
to defend themselves. Absolutely.
The National Assembly is behind the NFF. The fans are behind the NFF.
True.
So we are all clamoring
for the good of our federation. Absolutely. Moving forward to the female side of the national team, former Super Eagles head coach Edwin Okon believes that the team won't be eliminated by the pedigree of the teams in the group at the 2024 Olympic Games. Recall that the 9-time African champions, the Super Falcons, were drawn in a tough group with current world champions Spain, Japan, and Brazil. But Okon insists that the Super Falcons have what it takes to qualify from the group. Mr. J, do you think that Mr. O'Connor, talking about the former coach of the Super Falcons, coach Edwin Okon, is just living in fallacy, or is he's trying to motivate the girls to go all out and defend the green-white? Recall that Brazil are the best team, the most successful team in female football. Spain, they are the defending champions of the World Cup, female World Cup, and Japan, we know them. They are perennial winners. Just before before Spain, they were the last champion, and they are the champion of Asian football. But Coach Okon is saying that these ladies can still qualify regardless of their opponents.
Yeah, you are going into a battle. You don't give yourself that self-defeat before the battle starts. We know we are the underdogs. The Super Falcons are the underdogs of that group. But then, it's a competition. And most importantly, it's a football game. We don't know the tactics he may deploy or he is planning to deploy against the opponents. And we have seen where underdogs have taken the favorites by surprise.
True.
So this is what we expect the Super Falcons to do, and that is exactly what is what is telling us now. So it is what we want to hear, and not just hearing. It is what we want to see.
Absolutely.
So we are hopeful that we will pull up surprises.
Mr. J is hopeful that we will pull up surprises in the Olympics, same as Coach Edwin Okon. Both of them are optimistic, but are you optimistic that the Super Falcons will progress, do well, and of course conquer the world when the Olympic Games does start? Let's know your take on that on 070 0010 961 961. 070-0010-961-961. Our studio line is officially open. Do well to call us, and when you do, also pay attention to our biggest talking point. And what is it? We want to know if you support any team in the EPL, in the Spanish La Liga, in the German Bundesliga, in the Italian Serie A, or you are a follower of the French Ligue 1. Tell us the most improved player, the most important player of your team, as well as the worst player in your team, as well as in the league that you'll support the most. Yes, we want to know. Message already coming. Definitely we will get to read them. Let us know the player that you love the most. Talking about the best player in your team, the most improved player in your team, and your worst player in your team. If it is the league like the EPL, you know that, oh, this is the best player in the EPL, this is the most improved player in the EPL, and this is the worst player in the EPL. Somebody said it is Onana the banana, and there's nothing you can say.
That's his own opinion. Yeah, tell us your club.
We want to know yours.
Tell us your club. But there's also a room for one loanee.
Definitely.
You can just loan one player, either best, most improved, or worse from another team. Please, let's give that leverage.
Okay, Mr. Says
room for one loanee.
Okay, one loanee. A player you like to loan out?
No, you can loan a player from another team.
Okay, to your team. Oh wow.
To this rating.
Okay.
Maybe you want to give us the most improved player.
Okay.
You have room to loan a player from another club and tag him as but others should come from your team.
All right.
If it's the worst player, you have a room. If it's a player of your team that is the worst, you can mention. But if you feel that another player from another team
is the worst, let us know.
Opportunity to loan just one or not all.
Mr. J, why are you afraid? All right, let's continue on the show. But this time, let's talk Nigerian Premier Football League as we hear that the refereeing development committee of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, have suspended center referee Tijani Usman Majadadi from officiating in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Wow. Majidadi incurred the wrath of the committee following his poor handling of the Nigerian Premier Football League encounter between Rivers United and Katsina United right there in Port Harcourt. Now, according to the report released by the NFF, the decision of the center referee adversely affected not only the outcome of the game but contradicts the provisions of the law of the game. Rivers United went ahead to defeat Katsina United by 2-0, but the decision of the ref was terrible. It affected the flow of the game, it affected the complexion of the game entirely, and he made some calls that was against the provision of the law of the game, Mr. J. Now we are seeing referees being punished for doing the wrong thing. But we see the VAR in England allowing referees to go scot-free. I think with this level of sanctioning of refereeing, our league will only improve day by day. Don't you agree?
I slightly agree.
Wow, slight.
Yeah, slightly, in the sense that the referee at the officiate, or the central referee has the final say in the game. It's just very unfortunate that the way we take it adversely, because we have this power, we'll have the final say. I mean, our referee here, they tend to overuse this power. I mean, this mandate that is given on to them. A situation whereby you start questioning referees in every game. What happens? They did this done. But then you are killing their confidence if you continue to question them. You are killing their confidence.
But Mr. J,
hold on.
Okay.
I said that's why I say I partly agree. It's just because our referees are not doing it the right way.
Okay.
If they might not be 100% efficient, but if the efficiency is up to 80, I think it's a very good mark. A situation whereby a referee, because you are the referee, you change everything, you should be questioned. That is my take. You should be questioned, but then the questioning should also have a level, so that the referee should have that at least a leverage in officiating very well. Football officiating is not fully digital. Because if it goes fully digital, there is that flair. No, football without argument popping up at times might also be dull. But this is not to say referees should overdo or should over exercise the power given to them. They should be fair. There should be that fairness.
That should be fair. All right, I keep those scores coming on at 070-0010-961-961. All right, so let's continue on at the stories from the local league as we hear that more referees have been sanctioned. But this time, not only referees but also players have been sanctioned. Apologies if we did miss your call, but keep those calls coming on 070-0010-961-961. We would love to hear from you. All right, taking more news, we hear that organizers of the third-tier domestic football league, the NLO1, that is the nationwide League One, have wielded the big stick on Campus FC Owerri in the aftermath of the ugly scenes that overshadowed their playoffs tie between St. Nwadinsi Oba near Onitsha, Anambra State on Sunday. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening and welcome to the show.
Uncle Fine, very good evening.
A very good evening to you, my brother. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Demola from Durumi.
Demola, all the way from Durumi. It's good to hear from you. It's been a while.
Thank you. Yes, it's been a while. Yeah. You see about my Nigeria coaching role. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
Yeah. You see, is he on the National Assembly invite NNF before they know the coach that they will appoint? Now, the work of qualifier now is just 1 month and some days.
True.
Yes, you never appoint coach. If we ever appoint the coach now and the coach did not qualify for the World Cup now, we put the blame on the coach. Because there's no time for the coach to select the player that he wants and to do research over the team. There is not enough time for the coach to do to cool down to do it in work now. So if for me, if we did not qualify for this work for the 2026 World Cup, there should not blame coach for it. They should blame the NNF for it, because it's then that I think most of the African countries, everybody has got their own coach, except Zimbabwe. I think so. It is Zimbabwe, or yes, it's Zimbabwe. It's only we and Zimbabwe that we draw things down that we never know the coach that we want to appoint.
All right.
We can't compare them with us, because I think we are in third in Africa.
Yes, we are currently ranked third. You are correct.
So if we do not qualify for the World Cup, then should blame the authority for it. Then should not blame the coach. Because very small time now, if you don't qualify, most of us that we are Nigeria, we are football fans in Nigeria, we blame the stock that the coach is not good. Why they being appointed foreign coach for us?
All right.
Meanwhile, there is not enough.
Okay.
Apart from that, you said that who improve in your team? I'm a Baka fan.
That's your best player.
My best player is Yami Yaman. He's very good, young, talented player.
Then who is the most improved player in your team?
My worst player in my team is Marco Alonso.
He's not playing now. He has been on the bench.
It is not play, but I want Chelsea to come and carry their team back. I want Chelsea to come and carry their team back. And I'm waiting Bayern Leverkusen. I'm waiting their good luck. I pray that they Bayern Leverkusen with their coach and their Boniface.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Demola. All the way from Durham is such an ardent listener. Of course, I have said Marcos Alonso, former Chelsea player, is the worst player in his team. Mr. J, let's quickly round up before we go on that commercial break. And of course, I invite the big one to join us on the show. We hear that some players and officials were suspended following their assault on match officials after the game ended 2-2 between Campos FC and their opponent, the game that went down in the National League One. Mr. J.
Very good. I always invite the hammer to fall on whoever is found with any disciplinary breach. I see, in as much as passion and emotion rises in football game, we should be able to control it. It's a sport, and we should always have that spirit of sportsmanship. If you fail to control your emotion, yes, how much will fall on you? The correct disciplinary measures should be taken against you. I am impressed with that.
Definitely up to about 6 players we have fined, as well as their coach. We also hear that the team nurse was also sanctioned. And finally on the show, before we go on that breakout, more troubles for Fecafoot, as we hear that Cameroon might just be thrown out of the remaining 2026 World Cup qualifiers following the interference and the dispute between Samuel Eto'o, the president of Fecafoot, and the sport ministry, to which the government of Cameroon have been wading them, or better still, influence the decision of getting a coach. The president of the federation is not satisfied with the appointment of Mark Breeze as a coach of the national team, and he threatened to block his resumption. Interference from the government, and of course the president of Fecafoot not happy with the new coach that have been imposed on the team, and FIFA has threatened to ban Cameroon from further games.
We all know and understand that if you fail to do it well, the law will help you to, or if you, the law will help you to put it straight. Interference is slightly good, so that it will help you to straighten and shape up your way. But too much of it, my brother, is detrimental to the progress of the game and or the development of the game. Too much of everything is bad. There's nothing to even analyze in this too much in this case. That I don't like interference. They should allow them to do it. It is you. you hired me to do a job for you.
True.
And I, before coming, I present my credentials. We have had interviews. If I am not doing it well, please, there are two ways: sack me. But if you feel I am still there, leave me. Give me the autonomy to do the
To
deliver
do
the job
my
for you.
job. And that
Yeah.
is what Samuel Eto'o has been saying all this while.
don't
Allow
interfere.
me run a figure foot, that's a Cameroon football to the lofty heights that I want to lead it to. And finally, we hear that Ivory Coast have offered assistance to Tanzania following the country's following the country that have been given the hosting right, I beg your pardon, the host of the 2023 African Cup of Nations, Ivory Coast, have offered assistance to one of the countries of the 2027 AFCON. Talking about Tanzania, it was on record, or rather, it is on record that Ivory Coast have hosted the best in the history of the AFCON. That the AFCON in 2023 was the best ever in the history of the tournament. And yet they have said, look, Tanzania, we can give you tips, we can help you, we can make the planning of the 2027 edition easy for you.
Yeah, it's very good. What am I going to say? You have to imitate or copy from someone who has done rightly. Ivory Coast has been able to do and host the best of the AFCON in history. You understand, with the last edition. And then the next edition is expected to be better. How are they going to make it the better one? By borrowing leaves from those who have done it, and most especially the who has done it, who has done the most recent edition. And for the fact that they did it very well and they have offered to it, that means we expect to see a much better and improved AFCON come 2027.
Three nations will definitely host the 2027 AFCON. Uganda is there, Kenya is there, and of course Tanzania is going to be one like never before. Let's go on this commercial break. When we return, the sport bishop will be talking to us. Perhaps it will give us his own take on all the stories that we have dropped so far on the show. You want to hear his own thought on these stories. And of course, we will be moving to the Fabian scene and let you know the rumble in the jungle in the camp of Manchester United, and how Mikel Arteta is plotting the downfall of Manchester City. Xavi have come out to say it is either second or nothing more, as Barcelona set to take on Valencia later tonight. And of course, actions from the world of tennis and basketball. Don't touch the die. Stay with us. All right, welcome back to the second half of the Sports Show, Sport Lounge, that comes your ways every Mondays to Fridays at exactly 4 p.m. The Sport Crew of a Voice of the People, 96.1 FM. Always make sure that your evening time is sporty, because we give you the best of all the juicy sports stories from the country Nigeria to the continent Africa and to the uttermost part of the world. My name has not changed. It's the remain Franklin Emona, the one you call Fine Boy, the sports chef. And I've got Mr. J with me, and one man that makes a return after a torrid day. You really need to hear him tell us his escapade as long as it is concerned. But always a pleasure having him talk sports with us.
Thank you very much for having me. An absolute pleasure to be part of the show. Great to be here again. And of course, come on. No better time to talk sports than in the evening with the guys on Sport Lounge.
Sports Bishop, perhaps you heard some of the top stories. We did a readout talking about stories from the local scene. We saw Cameroon and Bruhaha. We saw that of the Super Eagles. The NFF have been invited by the National Assembly to come give them their plans and why a coach has not been appointed yet. And of course, the plans for the Super Eagles as well as the Golden Eaglet. Coaches have been... referees, I beg your pardon, and players being fined for unruly behavior in a league, talking about the third tier, the NLO, as well as the Super Falcons, saying that, look, the Olympic will be one of the best that we've ever had, despite 16 years of absence.
Anyway, for the sake of time, I'll just touch down some of the major issues. I'll leave officials to the NFF and their job. Talk about the Super Eagles coach quickly, where it's not the first time the Senate has invited the NFF to come defend their activities. It's more like a routine. The problem is, would they accept the invitation and appear to defend? Still going around circles where we haven't gotten the manager yet. Really sad, really shocking, but it's where we are at the moment. But all is well, they say that ends well. That's one big story I always tell you. I know we listened to the minister and he kept on saying one thing, that he's all about doing the right thing, not making the same mistakes of the past. But as much as he don't want to make the mistake of the past, I want to give a coach ample time to know his team. And we're slowly but surely getting into it. Almost in March. It's 28, if I'm not mistaken.
29,
I beg your pardon. By tomorrow, it's end of April and then March, and we still don't have a manager. So it tells us it's a bad decision, but it's a right. You see, two wrongs to say don't make it right, and it is what it is. And then for Cameroon, wow. It's all about he said, they said, she said. And FIFA would have to tilt to the FA every day of the week and twice on Sunday, despite not hearing the whole story. Don't forget the allegations of corruption levied around, and of course, match fixing on certain fields. We hear that it's a fight to the finish in even the federation itself. Not to talk about the government coming out to impose a coach. Come on, who wouldn't? When the last man who was gotten by Soweto Fields was more like a rookie coach in Rigabek's song, a rookie from the other 20, is that the 23? From the other 20 then to the national team. Who does that? No CV, nothing, no history, no pedigree. To coach a team as big as the Indomitable Lions is a no-no. So they say, okay, we'll take the bull by the horn and we'll appoint a coach that will give the supporters of Cameroon. Don't forget, they will list on a national to a political. All they want is success in their reign. So,
but I'm sorry to cut you in, but the appointment of Rigobert's song, everything.
He wasn't appointed. He was asked to go there. He has no certificate.
He's a legend.
He has no certificate.
The legend is every legend that becomes a good coach. I can call.
It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
It's very rare you get to see legends become good coaches. Okay, Maradona was one of the best players in the world, and he still is in the history of football. How was his coaching career? How did the coaching career go? Absolute bonkers. Let's leave it there. But I think it's all about getting the right man for the right job. And kudos to all our Nigerians who are doing proud across all the boards, whether it's athletics, whether it is boxing. See, I'm getting up for the Paris Olympic, but for the Super Falcons who are also getting up as well, I'll leave my hands in my chest and my heart in my hands. And hope that by the time we get to the Paris Olympics, we get to see some good football.
All right, and with that, we move straight to the foreign scene. Of course, I will love to hear from you. Keep your calls, keep your comments coming on a 070-0010-961-961. Explore all our social media handle, WhatsApp, a WhatsApp message, WhatsApp call, a WhatsApp voice note. We would love to hear from you, and of course, I give you a voice. Just so you know, we are still streaming on our YouTube channel. The address is VOP 96.1 FM Abuja. That is Voice of the People 96.1 Abuja. Do it to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get the best of our sports presentations and analysis. Also, we are live on Radio Garden. And from the foreign scene, we touch straight in a boxing as we hear that one man has paid a billionaire a visit. See, when you're big, you are big. In this life, just make money. A British and Nigerian boxer Anthony Joshua on Sunday morning paid a visit to businessman Femi Otedola in Monaco in France. Mr. Otedola revealed this in an Instagram post with a photo of himself and a 34-year-old boxer. And he said, "Look who pumped by my Monaco residence this morning. The champ himself and my very own namesake, Anthony Joshua," he wrote. Mr. J, when are you going to pay?
You ask me who am I going to pay my next visit to?
Let it not be in my own address.
Well, that is one thing about being successful. When you are very successful in whatever career you're choosing to venture into, you will be loved, and you will have that privilege of meeting the who is who and the big men up there. Ordinarily, I wouldn't be mentioning the names of some who have ventured into their career and they were unable to do it. Will a certain man like at Otedola be hosting and be proud to host them? The call here, yeah, the call here is whatever you have ventured into, do it very well, and you will be loved, and you will be a pride to many, whoever you are associating with.
Absolutely.
For me, it's about he's a friend of the family to start with. It's not new I'm visiting.
A friend of the family.
Yeah, a friend of DJ Kupi.
Okay, DJ Kupi. Oh, be specific.
Well, as Florence, they've been very good friends, very good G's for a while now. So if he pops into her dad's house, as he has always been doing in recent times, no, it's no biggie. But like I said, it's a good place. He just came back from a big win against Ngannou. What a knockout it was in the last fight he had. So he's in a good place. His market value has skyrocketed, despite without having a belt. So it is what it is. Two successful men sit down to talk. That's why I don't want TJ in my house. I can't talk. I can't talk a lot of, apart from sport. I can't talk engineering with you. Trust me.
All right, away from that, let's touch down at the trouble camp of Manchester United as we hear that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is ready to sell the entire squad, leaving just the 3 players to remain in a fire summer sale. Sport Bishop, it seems that Manchester United is the SI unit for confusion. They are the SI unit for tantrum. They are the SI unit for former champions. It seems that 1 week, one trouble for Man United. If it is not Eric Ten Hag, it is Rashford. If it's not Rashford, it is Anthony. If it's not Anthony, it's a player beating his girlfriend or cheating on the wife. Now, we hear that the entire squad is up for sale, including Garnacho, including Kobe Mino, including Rasmus.
There's exception there.
3 players, and those players have not been named. So therefore, all the players are for sale.
I know it's Kobe Mino, Garnacho, and maybe Fernandez. Those are the 3.
Highland.
No,
It's just new.
it's a go now. Highland is a go.
It can be sold.
Well, let me sincere. It's not about putting players on sale. That's the issue. It's about who wants to buy the players you put on sale.
Wow.
Are you going to sell the players to yourself? You know. Come on. How many players do you think have got the market value of the top teams? Are you selling to Fulham? Can they pay the kind of money that you want for them? Are you selling to Crystal Palace? After all, they have the British Easy and of course Michael Lees, who has got more market value than some of those players. So that's a big question. No, as much as you want to have an overhaul, which is not almost impossible. After all, Chelsea did something of that nature when Abramovich first joined the club, but you have to be realistic. How many players are going to be sold? Last time I wanted to sell out multiple players. How many did they sell? You know, how many players or do you want to let them go on a free and lose all your come on, it's gonna be Ludon cross. That'll be wrong market strategy. So I put my finger across as a neutral and enjoying the ride at Man United. They can't play good football. They can't run their affairs internally. They're in the wrong place at the moment.
They are in the moment, according to the Sport Bishop, wrong news always emanating from the camp of Manchester United. But away from Manchester United, let's move over now to a more cheering news. As one man that the world of football has long heard from, he has now been voted as the new president of FC Porto. Andre Villas-Boas, former coach of Chelsea and Tottenham, won the vote with over 10,000% record, and with over 80% of voters being swayed his way with about 26,741 votes. This man had a record of 80% sweeping the entire vote. This man is not only a good coach but also a good politician. It seems that a new things or a new breath of life will be breathed in FC Porto. Just 42 years of age, president. Wow, isn't this a problem, or you see it as a bold step for FC Porto, Mr. J?
Before we go to AVB, I'm just getting some breaking news pouring in about the coach of the Super. We talked about that at the first half of the show. Yeah. We had the NFL finally appointed, guess who, guys? Finidi George as the head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So he'll be the man they've signed after the whole dilly-dallying. These are what they should have told us a few weeks ago. We had officially announced him as the manager, and he'll be the one in charge. But anyway, let's see with AVB as Fireboy tries to get more on that story. AVB, what a chairman he is. I'm going to be sincere with you. What a man he is, you know. So he's done it as a coach in Porto. It was in Zenit St. Petersburg when he had Incredible Hulk. It was at Chelsea. Maybe not. It was at Tottenham Hotspur. And at the young age to become the president of Porto is unprecedented. It tells you that he understands the footballing business. You know, whether it's in the transfer market, whether it's getting players in, whether it's the coaching. He has one way or the other been part of a team, you know, in every aspect of football. So kudos to him. A lot of people are saying, is he not too young to become a president? Why leave the coaching scene too early? Come on. Like they say, now he get knife, now he get yam. You know, he understands when he needs to press stop. So we coach to 80, 90, like the Alex Ferguson, the Fengers, and the guy who was at Crystal Palace, I remember his name now, Roy Hodgson. So we'll leave as early as if on their 50s or when the ovation is loudest. But everybody has got their time. So good. Congratulations to AVB. Porto has got a good man. I think their best time under management has been under AVB.
In addition to that, he's been a good coach, good manager, and a very good politician. yeah,
very good friend. Yeah,
that is the edge he's gotten over the other contenders, and I think
to win the election, absolutely great.
Yeah, he's a very good politician, and if you had to vie for any elective position, you just have to rely on your credentials. You also have to be a very good politician.
Absolutely. That is what he has done. He has played politics with the vote, and the vote swayed his way. Just to give more angles to the breaking news that dropped earlier by the Sport Bishop, it is confirmed straight from the board of the Nigerian Football Federation following their meeting with the senators at the National Assembly. We hear that the Board of Nigerian Football Federation on Monday has approved the recommendation of its Technical and Development Committee to appoint former ace winger Finidi George as the head coach of the senior men's national team, Super Eagles. Finidi George, who spent 20 months as assistant to Jose Santos Pesero before the Portuguese voluntarily left the post following the accomplishment of the African Cup of Nations runner-up position at Côte d'Ivoire in 2023. He took charge of the squad in the interim capacity during the two friendly matches in Morocco last month. Sport Bishop. Finally, it is breaking news, and this is the best and the first place. You heard it first, live on a Sport Lounge 96.1 FM here in Abuja. Mr. J. Sport Bishop, is this the best we can get? There was a certain Emmanuel Amunike. There's a certain Consecao. We also had a Dominic Torrent. But the NFF said, for the sake of continuity, Finidi George, you can go on as the head coach of the Super Eagles.
Jay, go ahead.
Well, one good thing here that the invitation of the NFF has yielded a result. We started by the headline or by the announcement that
the House of Reps summoned the NFF.
And then we know that if you have a job to do and you seem not to do, or you seem to be delaying it so much, you will be fired into doing it. Over a month that Pesero had resigned, and we've been waiting for NFF to give up a substantive head coach, not the interim. All I want to see is, for me, it's not the best because we have other candidates who were vying for this position, for both foreign and local. But then the NFF has chosen to give Finidi George
giving continuity a chance.
Giving continuity a chance. There are points in it because here is a team. Pesero alongside Finidi George has been able to build a team whom we did not know their actual playing pattern, but they've been able to give us results.
Okay.
Well, in a long while, or over the time coming, we'll almost clinch the African Cup of Nations without a particular playing pattern.
Okay.
So maybe Finidi George would have learned on how to get results from games, game management, then add a playing pattern that will make us our Super Eagles play a very fantastic football. All we can do from this end is to support him, because for now, whatever we say doesn't hold any water again.
All right, Sport Bishop, before you wait in that one, our time is far gone, but quickly, let me take this message from YouTube. One of our YouTube subscribers, he sent this message. He reads, "Good evening, Uncle Fineboy and the sports crew. Please, what happened to Bielsa United and the Rivers United match? Samuel from Kabusa. Samuel, I can tell you that game was on. Bielsa United, we are leading by 1-0, and suddenly the game was interrupted. Further details on why the game was abandoned to resume on later dates, we will communicate to you. Just be rest assured that game for now has been interrupted and the game has been stopped." Sport Bishop.
Exactly. Before we react, I just want you guys to be part of the show. Let's hear your own take. We have less than maybe 5 minutes to get out of the studio, but you can tell us, what do you think? Come on, in a nutshell. Is it a good result for? Finally, can we give a pass mark to the NFF? Finidi George is the new coach of the Super Eagles. Do we think is the right way to go? Call us, send us a WhatsApp message, a WhatsApp voice note, a WhatsApp call as well. Either way, just send in your messages and your calls, and we'll be giving voices to your message. The numbers are 0700 010 961 961.
All right, so let's take this call quickly. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show.
Uncle Fiber and Demola see the call back.
Demola, you seem you're on form like us now.
I'm not kind like us. You said I'm very happy with that news that my boss didn't bring now. You see, the appointment of Finidi George for me is okay.
All right.
I support it. It's okay for me. And congratulations to my home club, Shooting Star, for them to be in top 4 for the first time.
Yeah.
I congratulate them.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Demola, all the way from Durumi, always a consistent caller.
Absolutely. So get more calls. If you want to see whether it's WhatsApp call, normal call, WhatsApp voice message, WhatsApp message, or SMS, we'll give voices to that. Now to my own take. Is it a pass mark for the Super Eagles? Come on, I'll let the fans do that one, but come on. You can't begin to mark a man who has been there for so long a time. What about marking him on? He has just played 2 games. He won 1, he lost the other.
50%.
Absolutely. In the first game, he was in high heaven. The second game brought him down to earth. But we all know where a lot of players had left after the first game to their clubs in Europe. So he had to make use of more or less the players that were available to him. Don't forget again that during that games, he had no assistant coach, nothing, no psychologist. He was a manager. He did it himself more than any other person else. So, but good one at least. The important is they've got a coach. Now the plan can now begin for the qualifier, which is very key. Our own is get us a coach. If it's a gamble, take the gamble now. Imagine us. I was talking about us getting into May without getting a coach, but it had me. And at the right time, they did the job.
A win for Manchester City, a win for Liverpool, not Liverpool, God forbid. A win for Arsenal, a draw for Chelsea, and a draw for Tottenham Hotspur, and also a draw for Liverpool. I beg your pardon, Liverpool. What does this say concerning the race for the EPL as well as the top 4 finish? Aston Villa drop points, Tottenham also drop points.
Aston Villa drop points, the other people drop points. They change anything. They are still 7 points clear in the top 4 race. So they dropped, even though it's 2 point drop for Aston Villa, because they have won, they would have increased the gap and created more gap between them and other teams. But it is what it is. It seems the god of football is smiling at Unai Emery at the moment. When he seems to have dropped points, other teams behind him also drop points. But we now know it's now a 2-horse race officially. No disrespect to Liverpool, I think club will only be bound now with the Carabao Cup. I don't think having anything else. So unprecedented.
And but they will definitely falter.
Because you'll be the one to play the game and falter.
As an Arsenal fan, what do you expect?
Man City will definitely
because Man United will not falter. After Man United, the penultimate game.
Hold on. The only thing that is working for Man City now is experience. They've gotten it and they are making very good use of it.
Okay.
But then if you look at the team who really needs it and knows that they really need this is Arsenal. They come into a North London derby and they took Tottenham by surprise, but face is care. That is by the way. Liverpool has said their bye to the league.
All right.
If you look at the form of Manchester City, the game they played, it's only experience that is standing in for them.
Paris Saint-Germain, champions of the French League for the 10th time in 12 seasons.
How do you win the champion? The 12th time in 11, sorry, 11th time in 12 seasons. Now the question is, how do you celebrate a victory where you had to wait for your opponent to lose? You know, they had a chance to win it at the Parc des Princes. They played a 3-3 draw. And then they have to wait for Monaco. We all know. See, the league has never been their in team. It's about the Champions League. They've got Dortmund next. They've won the cup final, if I'm not mistaken. They have won the league. We expect them.
They will be playing in the final.
Of the cup. That's when they're in the cup final already. They've won the league. Played it. We expect them to win that one. And then the Champions League. If they get the Champions League, it's a treble. Then we can start applauding. What will I applaud? Every manager who has been there has won the double.
It is official. Napoli's Victor Osimhen and that team will not be playing Champions League football next season. And they will not be playing in the Europa as well next season. They only have the Europa Conference League to play.
Imagine if Victor Osimhen playing the Europa Conference League.
Is it not better than not playing in Europe?
He will leave the club.
And they are saying he's going to a club that will not even be playing in Europe.
Is it your club?
So what are you telling me?
He's going to go to Paris Saint-Germain.
Or maybe Chelsea. Osimhen, you know where it's good for you. We are behind you.
Absolutely, but come on, Napoli can't be scoring such a truckload of goals and not be winning games.
So you're expecting to come to Chelsea and you will not...
He's playing the Premier League with the biggest league in the world, in front of the whole world. He'll be standing in front of the world. He'll be sitting on the throne.
So you think he can draw Chelsea from the mud?
Oh yes, come on. What are you saying?
All right, if I let the two guys, they can go at each other. But let's quickly touch down on the world of NBA before we jet out of the studio. We hear